What's up guys, Gamer here bringing you another review today on the M21E, which is a machine gun. Yes, doing a review on a machine gun, why not? This review is coming to you courtesy of Grammar once again. Shout out to him for letting me use his account. I wasn't really planning on doing a review of this, but I recorded the game with it and it was there. And it was the second video I recorded with using Grammar's guns, so I decided to do a review on it just for fun anyway. M21E has a 49 point damage, which is, well, it's pretty decent actually. That's the same as the MG21E steel. It's not the highest damage machine gun, but it certainly does get the job done. As you can see here, I was goofing around checking the recoil out a little bit. It's pretty even, goes pretty well straight up. Obviously there's a little bit of zigzagging, but as with any machine gun, this is to be expected. I didn't start off playing this game too well because, well, I don't really know why. First of all, it's probably because I'm not the biggest fan of machine guns. I don't really see myself. I'm not sure that I really ever played a game using just a machine gun ever before doing this review, so this is kind of a first. Portability on machine guns is also ridiculously low, which I did not, took me a bit to get used to, because you can't just run straight up the middle of a hallway or something like that, like you saw there. Like, you kind of have to get close and then spray. But once you get past the kind of basic flaws that I see in machine guns, they're actually pretty fun to use. They can be pretty fun to use. I got raged at a couple of times actually for using it because it's so easy to spray and just own. The portability is 36 points, which is 1 point higher than the MG21E steel. It's also lower than basically any other guns in the game, and that's basically including sniper rifles. Sniper rifles are just about as slow as machine guns, but like I said, once you get past that and you learn to spray it properly, these are actually half decent guns. I don't know much about the other ones in regular games because I usually just use them in Fireteam, which in my opinion is basically the better use for machine guns, which is actually kind of ironic because if you look back at older games like Counter-Strike, for example, I mean, the machine gun was like the most expensive gun, and it was basically the best gun. I don't remember, it was like 6,500 bucks or something like that. Some reminiscing there. But yeah, in combat arms they're mainly used for Fireteam, but I figured that I'd try it in a regular game just because I could. And you see there, my cat was walking on my keyboard and I pressed F5 like 6 or 7 times, stepping on the key. The rate of fire on the machine gun is 80 points, which is actually pretty quick. Not just by machine gun standards, but just by guns in general. And the 100 bullet clip obviously makes for awesome spraying. You basically press the button down and spray and pray, and most often it will come out in your favor. Machine guns, I mean, submachine guns are very properly named because they really are machine guns that are smaller and do less damage, but some people obviously will prefer a machine gun which does much larger damage but is not as small and is thus more cumbersome. Accuracy is, I don't know, accuracy, in my opinion, is kind of irrelevant in a machine gun. It's 62 points, which is obviously not that great, but that doesn't really matter because you've got 100 bullets, and if you miss 100 of your bullets, then it's not the gun, it's you. I also did a little, just for fun, I did some tap firing with this a little bit further into the game, which ended up kind of funny because it's actually not a terrible tap firing gun. Um, I kind of get more now why guns like the MK48 Mod Zero and all those guns actually have a scope on them. Although I still don't get why shotguns, some of the NX shotguns have a scope on them. It's something I'll never understand. The recoil on the machine gun on the M21E is 68 points, which is actually a little bit lower than most guns would be with this damage. Um, Once again, going back to the MG21E steel, which I believe is probably the closest gun to it. The recoil on the M21E is actually 4 points lower, so not sure that that really makes much of a difference, but you know, maybe in some way it does. Never tried them MG21, so I wouldn't know. Overall impressions of the gun, though, this is, my opinion, best for close quarters. Once you get into longer kind of distance, or even mid-distance, um, gun battle, it's the damage drop off is actually substantial, which is not exactly what I expected. In a bit, you'll see where there's a situation where I'm shooting from like the little connector roof thing to the crane, and I hit the guy like 4 or 5 times, and he doesn't die. Um, but here's a little tap firing, as you can see, like 3 bullets, just they all actually hit, and it doesn't really matter where you hit because it's a very strong 3-hit kill. So yeah, you can see even at relatively, I guess you call that mid distance, it was pretty accurate. Um, and here's the other situation I was talking about. You see the guy climbing up. That's 2, 3, 4 times I hit him, and he didn't die. And I'm assuming he was lit, but I never found out. So yeah. Other than that, that is, I mean, it's a machine gun. Um, Most of you probably know all machine guns are pretty similar, except for maybe like the RPK or something like that. Um, just for fun though, this can be a great gun to bring into a random pub room, uh, just to goof off, get some fun kills. I finished this game 20 and 13, I believe, which is actually much better than I was expecting. Or maybe it was 21 and 13 or something like that. But yeah, that's basically it for this review. I'll have more reviews coming out soon. Don't know what's going to be next. It's whatever I recorded on Grammar's account. But yeah, that's basically it. Yep, there you go. I finished this game 21 and 13. So, see you guys.